So, Cube, man, it is an honor to be here with you, man, this Saturday morning, along with our chamber presidents and business owners across the country. And, man, first, I wanted to just say thank you. I grew up in Oakland, California, just Northern California, north of you guys there. But, man, your words with NWA really represented most Black people around the country. Young people were listening to you, and, man, you were the orator, actually. You were this mouthpiece for so many of us. And so for that, man, I definitely want to say thank you for being able to express things that we were feeling, and many of us didn't have an audience or a microphone. And so for that, man, we are all indebted to you and NWA for always keeping it real.
Well, I appreciate that. You know, when we first set out to try to get in the music business, you know, we started as fans. We was trying to do, you know, music like everybody. Run DMC, Beastie Boys, everybody who was out at the time. We was trying to imitate and emulate, and so we just said, man, we need to just be ourselves, talk about what we know, what's going on around here, and we never set out to do nothing but just do what came natural and talk about the things that nobody was talking about. Mm-hmm. And what's cool is that most people think, you know, if you listen to NWA or listen to my early stuff, you're supposed to be dead or in jail, or your life is supposed to be in shambles. And here we are. You know, I look at you, Ron, and see a man who has, you know, did good with himself and made something out of himself, despite the influence of the NWA. You know, in some ways, you see what I'm saying? That, you know, the music is music, it's art, and people that know how to take it like that usually are successful. So with that said, I appreciate you, you know, saying that.
So I represent the U.S. Black Chamber. We represent 150 plus Black chambers. And the one thing that we talk about is intentionality and transparency. And the one thing about you, your music, your message is that you definitely keep it authentic and you keep it Black. And so for that, man, we also say, continue to be our mouthpiece, continue to represent us. But now, man, you've gone from, you know, being an icon in the music business to acting, producing, writing. Every time I turn on the TV, man, you on somebody's talk show talking about basketball, football, politics, a little bit of everything, man. And so, again, kudos to you for keeping it, you know, authentic, being able to do all things, really, and still continue to be the Ice Cube that we all kind of knew when we were all growing up. And so, you know, when I ask myself, I say, how does Cube, you know, stay relevant, stay informed of all the different venues and, you know, places and ideas, from sports to politics and just the culture itself? You know, what do you see yourself in reference to being, you know, what's the best one or the one that you're most passionate about, as well as some of the barriers and obstacles that you faced over the years trying to continue to be authentic and Black?
Well, you know, I made a conscious decision when I first, as a teenager, when I first got around the music business, understood what it is, what it's all about. I made a vow that I would always be able to look myself in the mirror and be proud of who I see and recognize who I see, which is just as important. And so I always felt like I'm going to be myself and let the chips fall where they may. You know, sometimes they may work out for me fine. Sometimes it might cost me an opportunity here and there, but I'm willing to live with that. You know, I'm willing to go the long way if going the short way means compromising who I am. So I've always been like that, and I continue to be like that. Now, what I like doing the most still is, you know, getting on that stage, you know, doing music. You know, I can really show, you know, my artistic side with the music at a more consistent basis. Putting movies together, you just need so many people to agree on one subject, you know what I mean, so to speak. So you got 100 people who got to agree if this is the movie we should be making. And then with a record, as long as I agree, we're going to make the record. You dig? So I still enjoy doing that form of art. And so everything else is, predicated off of that in a lot of ways.
Man, I was at home on Sunday. I had gone to play golf and came home a little later in the afternoon. Was flicking the stations, man, and came up on the Big Three on CBS. It wasn't on Peacock or ESPN 7 or something where you got to go down and watch it at midnight. And so, man, I was extremely impressed. I was impressed with the level of play, with the players, the whole concept of the 4-point play, the half court, the 3-on-3, the coaches. I saw my man Rick Barry, the Ball Hogs, and saw the iconic himself, Dr. J, leading the efforts of Tri-State. So, man, what was your vision? How did you kind of even see that through from development to implementation, and now the success that you're showing and seeing around the country?
Well, I grew up playing a lot of 3-on-3 basketball, in my backyard, schoolyard, play yard, everywhere we go. We get a full game, every now and then, but mostly it was 3-on-3. And those were some of the most intense battles I've ever been in sports, besides playing football. So I always saw 3-on-3 and looked at it and said, why hasn't it been elevated to the professional level? Started to brainstorm with my guy Jeff Quanitz, and we invented a sport, a professional sport. We didn't invent 3-on-3, but we invented the professional version of it. Added some wrinkles like the 4-point shot, 1-shot free throws, no time clock, always a winning shot. These things are innovative, changing the game. And then we saw it was a great platform for players who may find themselves prematurely out of the NBA. We know the NBA is a numbers game, probably about 15 players per team. And so you leave a lot of guys with a lot of talent, either never make it or prematurely cut, and never given a real look. And then we saw, for players who have retired from the NBA but still want to ball at a competitive level against their peers, we saw that this was an opportunity to extend careers. So we saw a lot of benefits, changing the game, making the players more in control of their team. We see the NBA adopted that with the All-Star game, where LeBron get to pick a team and then Giannis get to pick a team. So, we've done things to me to help the game, to push the game forward. WNBA just used our 4-point circles in their All-Star game. So we felt like we're doing something good. We're in the summer, not too much competitive basketball going on in the summer that mean anything. And so we filled the void too. So, not to be long-winded, we just felt like, hey, we got to present this, on a high level. Fox was the first network that brought on Big Three, and then we moved over to CBS. And hey, I think we're doing a great job at presenting a professional league to the world. Still a lot of opposition. We still have opposition from the NBA. They pretty much hate what we're doing, and they're, in the process of really scaring a lot of sponsors and partners away from the Big Three, which is a shame because the owners love us. When I say owners, I mean team owners.
Mhm.
But the NBA has bylaws saying that they can't work with us, and nobody wants to make the NBA mad. So it's really an issue that's got to come to a head at some point.
So I heard a statistic about the NBA and the players, and I did a little bit of follow up since our last conversation, and it was 60% of the NBA players, after they retire out of the league, forced out or on their own, they're broke within 3 to 5 years, which is a tragedy. I mean, to me, you play a sport your entire life. That's all you do. You get a chance and the opportunity, if you're blessed enough to be able to play in the league, depending upon the number of years that you're there. And then once you're out, many athletes don't prepare for a short run, don't necessarily have the skills and resources to be able to continue to provide for that same lifestyle as well as for their families. Is the big three an option for many players? Many of them, when they finish, they still are healthy, still great athletes, but still want to be able to continue in a sport that they love, that they're passionate about, but just don't have the ability to play in a professional environment anymore, both to earn an income as well as just to be able to continue to play.
Well, great question. And it is true that a lot of guys, after they leave the league, they're shortly, find themselves in a financial bind. When guys leave the league, most of them that can still play go and play overseas. So they're playing in Italy and Turkey and Israel and all over, nice living, but not like the NBA, of course, and they're away from home. The big three, I think what we do, right now, we provide them with a little money. If we continue to grow, that money will turn into a lot of money that we'll owe to them and pay out to them. And so we're just trying to get there. But what I think what our league does for them is more mental. They get to play at home in front of an American crowd. A lot of them their kids were little bitty babies when they were in the league. Now their kids are teenagers. They would love to get their kids back in the arena with the cheers and the winning shots and the things that they have honed in. Those skills are still useful and still appreciated. And so that's what the big three provides. It also provides guys who the NBA overlooked, never got a chance to show that they can play at a high level against known NBA stars. And so it provides, I think, a lot of mental and spiritual, gives a lot of value to those things, and allows them to use our to get a coaching job, use our platform to become a broadcaster. I've seen a couple of our guys, in commercials that I'm pretty sure if they wasn't in the big three, I don't have no guarantees, but they wasn't in the big three, they probably wouldn't be in those commercials. So it keeps their profile high, and they can create other opportunities with it. And it's just fun. Why have less basketball when we can have more? Especially, 10 weeks in the summer. It's quick, it's competitive, it's fun. Let's do it.
So switching sports, congratulations on your new relationship with NFL. I'm like, yes. You everywhere. From NBA, Big Three, now to the NFL. Tell us a little bit more about this partnership that you have with the NFL. And again, congratulations on it. But for the folk that don't know about the specifics, can you give us a little overview of what this means to your company and for Black-owned businesses across the country? Because I really think it's a bigger platform than just you and your firm.
Yeah. I think we can go back to 2020, how we all felt about the George Floyd murder saw. And, there was a lot of protests and a lot of people in the streets. I wanted to do something about it. I wanted to have a 30,000 foot view of what the problem really is. So I started working with some very smart people, economists, people who understand the history of this country, people, who have worked in the government, worked out of it, who've worked in the private sector to try to figure this problem out. And we came up with a document called the Contract with Black America. And I think it was a very good document. Of course, we want to continue to add, different articles to it, and different things that we discover that need to be mentioned. And so, with this article, a lot of people just to talk about it. We didn't approach too many people to talk about it, but a lot of people approached us. Democratic Party approached us, Republican Party approached us. We discussed it with both parties. We all know what happened with them. But also the NFL contacted us about this issue that they had where they wanted to figure out how to invest and to go after the wealth gap. Now, we know wealth gap is an ocean, okay? The gap is an ocean. So we know, one drop in the ocean ain't gonna clear it, ain't gonna change it much, but we want this to catch on. So long story short, we came to them with a proposal that they were very responsive to. When I say they, I mean Troy Vincent, Roger Goodell, Jonathan Bean, Belinda. Very responsive to the proposal. And our proposal was, hey, you guys spend a lot of money at the NFL. Every item from IT to construction to, party planning to custodian work to repairs, blah, 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 blah. Whole list. And most of those companies you've been working with for a long time, and probably all of them are white or not black.
Yeah.
How about you guys insert a couple of black companies in there? You're not spending an extra dime. But what you are doing is working with these companies and trying to establish a long-term relationship, helping them come up to scale. We'll help them, but don't shun them because they're in scale. Like that's why you guys don't work with a lot of black companies. You pull that, they can't handle the scale shit. Excuse my French, but and they can't get the loan to be able to do the scale. So it never gets done. So don't punish them for that. Work with them because of that, and then we'll get them up to scale if we do a great job and keep the contract. So that's the proposal. It's a simple song. It's not easy to achieve because some of those, the people that got those contracts,
they giving them up.
They holding on very tight. So you gotta, massage them out of there. And so that's what we proposed to the NFL. long story short, they've spent over 120 followers in this plan so far, and so we want more, and we want more company, more leagues, NBA, MHL, MLB. We want all the leagues to do it. We want all the teams to do it. We want Raiders. We want the Rams, Steelers. Every team, every league, and then every company. We want Pepsi. We want Coke. We want blah 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 blah. Go down the line.
So, Q, we have similar missions there. I go and talk to corporate America all the time about increasing their spend with Black firms, and they will give me two answers. Which is the size and scale, and the other one is we can't find them. We just don't know where they are. And so, and then the third piece of that, we don't know where they are, is there are many firms that are out here that are saying that they're a minority-owned firm, and minority means a lot of things, and many times it don't necessarily mean Black. And so the U.S. Black Chamber created our own Black business certification. I know that your firm is interested in applying right now. What's the value of a certification for your firm, as well as corporate America and NFL and other leagues and organizations utilizing certifications to make sure that they are doing business with Black firms?
Yeah, with us, look, it's a league. If you really look at the history of a league that starts from scratch, most of them fail. Most of them are not this diverse when it comes to the leadership, the ownership, and the passion. I think what we're doing really benefits a lot of Black people specifically. Yeah, we have a female chairman of the board. Yeah, we have, we got a Black commissioner. We're pushing, I think we got the only Black commissioner in sports, which is Clyde Drexler. Clyde the Glide. And our players are, I got to probably say 95% Black. Coaches, pretty much the same ratio. We got a couple white coaches.
Rick Barry was in there.
Rick Barry, both Hall of Famers. And both, and look, our players get a piece of the league. Our day one players, and coaches from Dr. J to Iceman. These guys never got a piece of the NBA. And so we thought it was only right that our day ones, we call them, got a 10% lead. So we feel like we benefit, not counting the countless of jobs that we provide, that we benefit overwhelmingly Black people in what we're doing. Y'all makeup. Of course, I had to go out and get partners, like-minded partners. We got LL Cool J. We got, like I said, Kanye. He's got money in the league. We're trying to turn that money into a solid investment, but he's tricky to pin down. We got guys too. Without a doubt. And we're doing something unique. So, what we're doing, we might not fit the criteria letter to the law. But I think what we're doing is in the spirit of what you're trying to achieve. And what we're all trying to achieve is, create something from the ground up that we all can benefit off of for a long time, and not just be relied on, what the NBA do or what the NFL do, you know. That being said, I just think we are actually perfect when it comes to, you know, being a certified member. And, you know, as things shuffle out, you know, we'll probably get over that percentage hump as well as we go down the line and we continue to grow this league.
So my last question, man, and I appreciate you again taking this time to speak to us. So one, what's your long-term vision of the league? What can we do to help support you and the league? And then I got one last question after you answer those.
Okay, long-term vision is I want to be here, you know, 75 years like the NBA. You know what? They there 75 years. Why we can't do it? What I want from the people is support. You know, this is not a Ice Cube project. You know, I'm not doing this for my own benefit. I'm doing that something to check out, something to watch. Yeah. Unless you want to just watch golf all day, or you want to watch soccer, or you want to watch baseball, or you want to watch Summer League NBA, or what else is it? You know, everything is boring in there. You know, it's kind of like I'm trying to create something cool, exciting, get us through the summer, from the end of the finals to football season. I want everybody to watch. You know, it would be sad if nobody came to your party, but everybody come to your funeral. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm throwing a party. You know, please come. Please come.
Last question. So we've seen entertainers, actors, even some musicians transition from entertainment to politics. Man, Q, when you gonna run for governor of California?
Oh Lord, I'm already the governor of California. I ain't gonna run for something already achieved. You know what I'm saying? But man, you know that's a whole nother story. You know, I just want to do what I can, get in where I fit, and try to benefit the people who need it the most. Stuff that people can enjoy. You know, politics is different. It's just a different approach. Mm-hmm. And you know, like I said, I'm already the governor. You know, I mean, y'all can king me. King me, then that's a different
looking
thing.
In the background, I see you with your crown on back there, man. So
that's just king. A movie for that's the king of the mic right there. But yes, I'm just saying, you know, if y'all king me, then I'll reconsider. But governor, president.
Hey, well, man, again, thank you, man. Not just for the today, but for the longevity. Many of us, again, grew up with you. Extremely proud of what you're doing right now. We know that the future of Ice Cube, the Big Three, what you're doing with the NFL, and most importantly, what you're doing for Black people around the country is appreciated by all of us. And for that, man, we want to say thank you. We appreciate you. We love you, man. And anything that we can do here for you at the Chamber or Black Chambers across the country, man, you just reach out. Again, thanks a lot for the time this afternoon.
Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate it, Ron. You know, whether the Big Three get in or not, we still gonna be working together because, you know, I'm gonna need you to fulfill some of this WBA we got going on with these leagues. You know, it's really all about us asking them the question, you know, why haven't they done what the NFL's doing? And we ask that to every company in America that benefits off us for sure, and those that want to see everything, you know, evened out. Well, fair, put it that way. I don't know about even out, but fair. And I appreciate you, man. So, you know, we'll be hitting you. We'll need your help to fulfill this obligation.
That, man, you can count on our support. Again, thank you. Continued success, and we'll talk to you on the other side, man.